Hello, good morning, and welcome back, students. Hope you're doing well. I will go through the grammar rules in this video for you guys. Okay, past progressive in the affirmative and negative way. How do we formulate? We have subject plus the auxiliary verb was and were in the past. Okay, then we add the verb in the ing form. Here are some examples in the affirmative way. Okay, depending of the subject pronoun, remember we have I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. We add past and was or were and the verb in the ing form. Okay, here are some examples. I was sleeping. You were riding your bike. She was riding. She was watching TV. It was raining. We were talking in class. You were waiting for me. They were laughing. This would be in the affirmative form. In the negative form, we can either write it in the full form or the short form. Okay, remember we have the contractions. Here are the same examples. Okay, how do we formulate? We have the subject. We have was not or wasn't in the contraction form. We have were not and weren't in the contraction form. And we add the verb in ing form. When do we use the past progressive? We can make the affirmative forms of the past progressive with the subject, was, and were. Okay, then we use the main verb in ing. We make the negative form of the past progressive with the subject plus was or were and not the main verb in ing form. We can also use the past progressive in spoken language and in written in form in English. We usually use the negative short form. We weren't watching videos online. We were not watching videos online. We use the past progressive to talk about actions happening at a specific time. Okay, to talk about actions at a specific time. Like the example, I was waiting for the bus at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Okay. We also use it sometimes to express and to show length of time that has passed. We use from and to. Camila was playing tennis from 3 to 4. Okay. We can also use it with between and. Okay. We were reading between 7 and 7:30 a.m. Okay. We often use the past progressive to describe a scene, especially when telling a story. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. Okay. In the questions and short forms and answers, yes or no questions, we are going to see was and were at the beginning. Then we will see the subject pronoun and the verb in the ing form. Okay. Here are some examples. Was I sleeping? Were you riding your bike? Was he or she watching TV? Was it raining? Were we talking in class? Were you waiting for me? Were they laughing? And we will see it in short answers in the affirmative and negative way. Okay? The affirmative, yes you were. Yes I was. And so on. In the negative way, No, you weren't. No, I wasn't. And so on. How do we formulate the answers, yes or no, with the subjects? Okay. And in the affirmative way with was or were, and in the negative way with wasn't or weren't. We make yes or no questions in the past with progressive with was and were, plus the subject and the main verb in ing. Another example. Was she cooking dinner? We make affirmative and short answers for the past progressive with yes, plus the subject and was or were. We make negative short answers for past progressive with no, plus the subject, wasn't or weren't. Was she cooking dinner? Yes, she was, or no, she wasn't. With the use of while and when. Remember, these are time words, okay? We can also use the past progressive to talk about two longer actions happening at the same time. Here are some examples. Dad was sleeping while we were playing. We were making pizza while Steve was doing the shopping. We use the while to connect two actions happening at the same time. Emily was listening to the MP3 player while her younger brother was playing in the computer. While can go between the two actions or at the beginning of the sentence. If while is at the beginning of the sentence, there is a comma before the second action and between the two actions. The teacher was writing on the board while the students were reading. While the students were writing on the board, the students were reading. We have the past progressive and the simple past with the use of when and while. We also use the past progressive to talk about longer actions that happened in the past and that were interrupted by a shorter action. An example, I was using the computer when Dad called me. Okay, we have the past, the interruption when Dad called, and the present. I was using the computer when Dad called me, the interruption. We can connect the shorter and the longer actions with while and when, the time words. An example, they were walking down the street when they saw an accident. The teacher came into the class while we were making a lot of noise. When can come before the shorter action in simple past or longer action in the past progressive. Sarah was climbing when she fell. When Sarah was climbing, she fell. Okay, we can see it at the beginning or we can see it in the middle. But remember, we have the comma. Okay, when the time word begins. While must always come before the longer action in the past progressive. Here's the example. While they were watching a video, some burglarized the house. Okay, so we have while at the beginning. Okay, and we have the comma of the other interruption. Here are some more examples. The students were taking notes when the principal came in. Okay, this is the same sentence. The principal came in while the students were taking notes. While the students were taking notes, the principal came in. And when the principal came in, the students were taking notes. If you can analyze, they all have the same meaning, but we have the time word either in between or at the beginning. Just a reminder that the comma goes in the middle or in the interruptions of the two actions. Okay? Remember to work on more exercises on the back of your workbook. Keep it up and take care.